Hello, good evening to you and welcome to Business. Now, the price of crude oil continues to decline on the international market. The price of the commodity has now hit $47 a barrel. Reports say this is the lowest in almost 10 years. The decline has been influenced by a decision of some of the biggest oil producers like Saudi Arabia not to cut production despite the continuous decline in prices of the commodity. This means that there is still more supply on the market against actual demand for the product, a development that has also impacted on the price. This would be good news for consumers of petroleum products in Ghana, as it could impact on prices at the pumps. Another development that may bring some relief to consumers is the fact that the city's current stability, if sustained, could also reduce the price of petroleum products further in the coming days. Already, petrol and LPG are expected to go down marginally this week. However, on the other side, this might not be good for government because of the impact on projected revenue from crude exports. The state is looking at getting some 515 million Ghana cedis, million dollars in crude exports at a benchmark price of $56 a barrel. However, there are fears looking at the way the commodity is behaving, government's target could be affected. This may affect some projects that government is hoping to use the oil cash to support. Now, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana is calling on government, the NPA and GRA to ensure immediate arrest and prosecution of all players in this criminal activity without fail. The Chamber says these people are clearly benefiting from, in one way or the other, from criminal proceeds that destroy both the country and the downstream petroleum sector. It says the disturbing menace will certainly continue to grow beyond tolerable limits and destroy Ghana's downstream sector if no concrete efforts are taken immediately to curtail the nefarious activities. Executive Secretary of the Chamber, Duncan Amwa, stated these earlier on the Marketplace on Joy News.
Are saying that this is not a system perpetuated by spirits or by angels from some other space that we cannot see or control. It is clear that the active collusion and connivance of some of these officials have seen this cabal perpetuate themselves into business and have become more of a permanent feature downstream. We are saying that for those BNI officials who sit at the ports, for those national security officials, for those Ghana Revenue Authority officials who watch vessels discharge products into BRVs, and these products eventually get out of the main ports onto the market to be sold to Ghanaians untested. We think it is not only a breach of their code of work, but it is also a breach of public trust. You wonder which of the labs would have done any Q&Q testing to be able to certify a good product for the market. But they find themselves into people's tongues. We are tired of the rhetoric.
The Ghana Investments Promotion Center, GIPC, is looking at offering citizenship to some category of investors in return for capital. The move is part of several reforms that the center is implementing to improve investments into the country. The initiative would only apply to persons that bring certain amounts of capital into the country. Yofi Grant is Chief Executive Officer of the GIPC.
There are many others that we are looking at GIPC, which we will bring to the table for discussion. For example, creating a 10-year tax-free regional hub for Accra or Ghana, meaning that if you set up your regional hub in Ghana, you can have a 10-year corporate tax-free business model, so far as you have certain job creation indicators included in your business. And there's a large part of it in technology transfer and renewable, sustainable energy use. So we are trying to be creative in making the investment attractive. We are also looking at putting in certain other attractive measures. For example, if you invest, an individual invest up to $5 million, we might consider you for a Ghanaian passport or something we are calling the Ghanaian green card. If you invest a certain amount in properties, then we might consider you given that green card. So you can live there because we attract your investment. So there are quite a number of things that we are thinking of doing. Even at the GIPC, we are looking at our own laws. For example, how useful has capital limits been in protecting our industries? And the research is telling us that it has done very little in protecting our industries. So we are thinking that we should remove those capital limits, but rather infuse incentives for indigenous industries to enable them compete effectively with any other investor that comes, and create a rule-based business environment instead of an exclusivity-based business environment. So that in itself is good. Now we're also looking at other areas. For example, some of the areas that have been restricted to only Ghanaians. And I think that those ones, for example, are a bit problematic. Why should we restrict, for example, taxis, the driving of taxis? In today's world with technology and innovation, so services like Uber, then we'll be breaking the law because that's a taxi service. But
the Director of Crops Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Dr. Stella Abba-Enin, has lamented the continuous delay in passing the Plant Breeders Law. She is also concerned about government's posture and approach to adhering to international treaties. Dr. Enin believes Ghana can achieve 6% agricultural growth annually if the country passes the bill and commits to other declarations.
The 6th edition of the one-day research conference was organized by the Ghana Science Association. It was under the theme, Achieving Sustainable Agriculture and Food Security through Science and Technology. It drew over 500 participants across various science disciplines in the country. The Plant Breeders Bill, which seeks to empower crop breeders to earn royalties, has been in Parliament for 4 years. Director of the Crops Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Dr. Stella Abba-Enin, believes when passed into law, it would encourage private sector investment in agricultural research. She tells Law Business most of the improved crop varieties from Ghana are being used for free elsewhere, despite efforts and resources to develop them.
Encourage the Plant Breeders Bill to be passed because it has several advantages to the nation. First of all, currently, because of the absence of such a bill, a number of crop varieties that we have developed in the country, for example, maize varieties, which are being used by more than 15 African countries, are being used for free. We believe that a bill, such as the Plant Breeders Bill, will be able to put in place the legal framework which allows such transactions to be made between Ghanaians and other countries, so that any variety that is taken up, some royalties will be paid back to the country. That is one. And also we believe that it will be a way of getting some investment into the research system so that more varieties can be developed. Currently, there is very little support from within for varietal development. A bill like this will help us to be able to develop more varieties so that farmers will have more options and also improve varieties to meet the climate change and also emerging diseases. So I would urge the Plant Breeders Bill to be passed.
She's also concerned about government's posture and approach to the Malabo Declaration adopted by all African heads of state in 2013. She believes commitment to the declaration and other treaties signed by government is key to sustainable food security in the country.
There are a number of treaties and agreements that have come from the international circles to facilitate and to improve on agricultural research and development. However, we have not been able to adhere to them. But this is an issue because I believe that a lot of analysis goes into these before they are formulated. For example, we have the Lagos Plan of Action as far back as 1986, where African governments agreed in Lagos to contribute 1% of their GDP to agricultural research and development. Within the Malabo Declaration, 10% of every country's budget annually is to be contributed to agricultural development. And when we do that, we shall be able to realize at least 6% annual growth rate in agriculture. And currently, we all know that our agricultural growth rate has gone down. In 2016, it is reported to be between 2.6, somewhere around 2.6%. And one of the suggestions is that if we are to stick by contributing 10% of our budget to agriculture, we shall be able to be heading towards sustainable food security.
Prince Apia reporting.
And Workers Union has petitioned President Akufo-Addo and the Land and Natural Resources Minister to sanction operators and directors of rare mines located at Konongo in the Ashanti region. A letter signed by the Mine Workers Union of the Konongo Branch Secretary Francis Owusu claimed the company is operating illegally. The development, the union says, has led to the depletion of the Ore River, which serves as a source of drinking water for communities in the area. There's more in this report.
The Konongo Ore mines, which covers a concession of about 125 kilometers square, was acquired for large-scale operations in 2004. However, the union claims half of the concession has been released by the managers of the company to some illegal operators under the guise of small-scale mining. In an interview with Joy Business, Francis Owusu, secretary of the Konongo branch of the Ghana Mine Workers Union, called on the presidency to intervene.
The company, we acquire a license for large-scale mining, and not for what? A small-scale or whatever galamsey what? Activities. So for you to give the concession or to sit down and negotiate with these galamseyers and give portion of the concession for them to work so that we can take a portion of their proceeds, it's never done anywhere. Since November 2016. If you recall, in 2016, we did demonstration against encroachers of these illegal miners in our concession. It is the same directors who gave us money to demonstrate against these illegal miners, and it is very surprising that now they are in bed with these guys.
Have you reported this issue to the appropriate authorities?
Yes, I've written petition on behalf of the workers to the Minister of Mines and Natural Resources, and even petitioned the Office of the President, the Minerals Commission, the Chamber of Mines, Inspectorate, the Office of Otumfo, Ashanti Regional Minister, the Divisional Police Commander, and all those people who matters in this issue. And as we speak, they have not done anything about it. The issue is that when these galamseyers came in 2016, the directors told us that if we sat down and wait these galamseyers to take over the mines, they cannot pay us. So they sponsored us to demonstrate against galamsey, and the then president, His Excellency John Mahama, responded by giving us a military. And as we speak, we have military on site, and the galamsey activity is still what? Ongoing.
So the galamsey activities are going on at the site whilst the military
is there. That is the problem we have.
So you mean the military are protecting the galamsey?
That is it. The military are rather even protecting the galamseyers.
On his part, General Secretary of the Union, Prince William Ankra, called on the Minerals Commission to investigate and prosecute the directors of the company if found culpable.
That's a rumor to a large extent, but my branch colleagues are very sure that, look, this is what's going on.
Have you investigated it?
No, we are not doing anything on our own. We expect, obviously, the Mineral Commission to do the right investigation. That the regulatory authority do so, then get the right result. On our part, we're concerned about what goes on, and what is bad is that where the government have been made aware. So there's a regulatory body like Mineral Commission that can task their team to look and see how far things are going.
The union also demanded the release of their unpaid salaries by the company since January 2016, which has worsened the plight of the workers.
And that's all we have for you by way of business tonight. Many thanks for watching. My name is Emmanuel Abwaji Biafi. Good evening.